And all of y'all were complaining about, oh, we're winning too much. We're winning too much. Well, guess what? I hope you're happy now. We're going to break this one down. Hurdle comes back. He's got a smile on his face and saying, oh, I forgot how it was to win a lots of games. Yeah, okay. We're going to break this one down right now. Frickin' Teal Town After Dark. Let's frickin' go. Good evening, everyone. How the heck are you doing? Yeah, I don't think so either. Sharks lose 6-3 to the frickin' Vegas frickin' Golden Knights. Welcome to the frickin' After Dark here on Teal Town, USA. If you want to be part of the show, chat with us and fellow hockey fans all over the world and in Sharks territory on the YouTube page or the app. If you're watching us on the replay, or leave a comment down below what you thought of the game. Oh God. Follow us on the socials. We GIF on Twitter, Blue Sky, and Threads, and you can find everything at tealtownusa.com. And of course, if you want to support the pod, chat with us, or you can do that. Well, you can chat maybe. You can send us a nice little message on the Venmo at tealtownusa, or you can send a super chat on the YouTube channel if you're watching us live. And we got a packed house here tonight. It's about to blow everything off. That's right. It's Puck Guy, it's Ian, it's Felix. But first, we're going to go to Dana. So Dana, you can go ahead and unmute yourself. Tell us about the atmosphere, what it was like with Hurdle returning into the game.
Well, I was sitting next to a bunch of Vegas fans, so I can't really...
Sorry.
Vegas fans at their first hockey game, so I can't really speak to, like, what's the word on the street. But as far as, like, they did the video montage, like, before the game even started, after the anthems, and, like, I was crying. I was trying to hold it together, but definitely everyone was standing, everyone was clapping, everyone was cheering, and it was everything I needed and more.
And then the game happened.
Oh. Yes, and you know what? The first two periods were right.
And then that third period must have been, you could just hear the groan from the crowd. Apparently a sellout.
There were a lot of Vegas fans here. So they were happy, and they were really polite about it, as they usually are.
Well, that's good. I guess. I don't know. At least they paid money, I guess, for the tickets. But
sure. Thank you for contributing to the Silicon Valley economy.
Yes, exactly. I will see you tomorrow following the game, and definitely see you at the tank. So have fun. I know your hubby's right next to you. We'll let him sneak in there really quick. Hi, bud. Good to see you. Get home safely. I'm glad you got to see local boys play again.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, have a good After Dark, everyone. I'm so sorry you have to talk about the actual game. I get to sit here and talk about how wonderful it was to be back at the Shark Tank.
Yes, that's a good part, right? Yeah. So good to see you. We'll see you tomorrow at the game. Have a good one. Bye, my dear. At least she gives us a nice little rosy reception, guys. How you doing?
I don't even like hockey. I don't even know I'm here.
I was gonna say, as a Canadian Sharks fan, how are you holding up, bud?
I don't even like hockey. Hockey's dumb. I don't even like it. I don't know why I'm here.
All right, Felix. I'm look at you with the flow. All I need is you like in a fancy, Alfani turtleneck or something and such. But
it's just moose. Until the Sharks were, look, let's be honest, for whatever reason the Sharks just can't get it together in the third. It's they even if they do all right, like they give up one, they get one back, and the first two periods, and that keeps going, and then come the third, it's like, what is hockey?
Do we know how to play hockey? Do we know what a power play is in the third period when you have a lead? Going through the comments because I know there's a lot of them already. Bletch, this was fun, and then Georgiev, Big Bird, hey Colorado, we want a refund. They're too busy paying Blackwood now, folks. I think they said no take backsies. But yeah, you get that hurt. Frogiev. Remember, he played in the All-Star game with Hurdle like a few months
I
ago.
mean, it also doesn't help when like the guys in front of it doesn't even matter who you put in net. Like we like as
It matters.
as much as we as iceberg. I mean, there's plenty of of that to go around. Like, what is this team doing in front of their goalies sometimes?
Yeah, it's there. It's just something. Aiden Hill never played like that for us. Yeah, he's undefeated against the Sharks since that trade. You know, Hurdle looks Hurdle looks unhappy. No, what? He should be happy. He wanted this.
He looked fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep the kids together. Just special teams. Yeah, no, it's yeah. Dave sums it up nicely. Well, that hurts. So, and Chipper Rainey, the A on Mario Ferraris irritated me more than usual. Explain that to me again.
He's the default. He's the de facto captain of this team. I don't know if how many ways you have to say it. He's the de facto captain. He is the guy that always wears a letter, regardless of whether they're home or away, which makes him basically the de facto captain of this team.
So let's get into it, guys. Oh God, this is gonna be fun. Hurdle, welcome back. We've missed you, although you had that nice little comment that came out, today that garnered some love. Your thoughts on I got used to it's nice to win a lot more games. Guys,
look at. I mean, I don't know. Like, these guys want to win, right? Yeah. And obviously the Sharks haven't done a whole lot of that lately. And I don't know why this surprises anyone. It's really easy to get mad because it's like, oh, well, he's happier to be in Vegas. Well, of course he's happier to be in Vegas where he's winning and he has a chance to win a Stanley Cup. This team isn't going to even sniff the playoffs this year. Of course he's happy to be gone. Are we supposed to be upset about this? I don't know. It's fucking
dumb. But we get them the nice tribute. And of course, for a guy who was beloved here for 11 years, you're going to get all the love you deserve. That being said, it's so nice for him to come back to San Jose and take a tripping penalty 3.5 minutes in. I mean, that was nice to try to get the Sharks on top early, but no. Noah Hannafin would get his 5th of the season. Maybe some traffic in front, but not much from Olofsson Pietrangelo, make it 1-0. But probably the feel-good story moment of the night, Shakir Mukhamadullin with his first NHL goal. Felix?
Yeah, no. First of all, obviously, congrats are in order. He got that goal, and I believe so. Aiden Hill got a piece of that, but obviously that ended up in the back of ended up in the net anyway. But no, congrats to him, and he was the broadcast that I can talk. The broadcast was saying he looked solid tonight, and yeah, I guess he was one of the few that looked solid. I don't know what you guys think, but
yeah, I've liked Mukhamadulin's game so far. I think it's been fine. Can we talk about something though? I want to talk about something.
What do you want to talk about?
I am so fucking sick of this. Oh, they don't have any killer instinct. Oh, they just can't close out games. imagine, let's go back a couple of games to Edmonton, right? Let's talk about some stats in this Edmonton game where the Sharks got outshot 42-22. They got outshot 23-7 in the second period, but they escaped the second period with the lead, mostly based on Askarov's play. But like, we're talking about lack of killer instinct. They never controlled that fucking game. They were lucky to be up. Like, there's so many games where, yes, they've given up the goal, like the damn breaks in the third period. But like, this implies that the Sharks are ever in control of these fucking games, and they're not. Like, this is why I hate this talking point. It's so fucking stupid, because if the Sharks were winning and controlling play and doing all the things that you want them to do, and being the better team for 2 periods, and then they blow it up in the second, okay, or in the third, fine, I get it. Like, that's a bad thing. But like, this team where they're hanging on for dear life, and then the dam breaks in the third, and it's like, oh, if they could just close out a game, like they were ever in control to begin with. Like, this is the absolute stupidest fucking talking point, and I know I'm gonna have to repeat this on Sunday, but like, this is the stupidest fucking talking point in Sharks fucking fandom right now. Like, it's so nauseating, because again, it implies that the Sharks were ever in fucking control of these games, and they're not. They're hanging on for dear life, but no, they don't have the killer instinct. Fuck off. Like, this is so fucking stupid. Tell me I'm wrong.
I mean, it may not be killer instinct. It's just playing smart and giving a damn.
But they're not. They never play smart. They're just holding on for dear life.
But that's the point.
They're not like, you can't give up something that you don't have control of.
To be fair, if this team did not have Macklin Celebrini, where would this team be? Because I feel like
bad, but that's why you suck, right? Like, that was the whole point.
No, exactly. But I'm just
going Celebrini and Will Smith, like,
right. No, exactly. But that's to your point. Like, essentially, I guess the illusion of the Sharks ever being in a game is because he's literally influencing fucking play. So
yeah, like, we'd still be bad. We'd be bad, but less watchable, right? Sure. Like, and unfortunately, the fact of the matter is, like, we got a super downgrade in goal. Now, I'm fine with it, and I don't want people to get it twisted. I'm fine that we traded Mackenzie Blackwood. Mackenzie Blackwood was not going to win a Stanley Cup in his prime in San Jose. So it was best to get whatever you could for him, right, and move on. You have Askarov waiting in the rings. Like, that's going to be the guy. Now, would Blackwood have been a nice 1B to that? Sure, but does he want to do that? Probably not. Like, this is a guy who, all these guys want to be starters. They don't want to be the 1B. But unfortunately, to make the trade work, you have to take back Georgiev, and Georgiev's been fucking ass, because he's always been ass. I'm at the point now where it's like, do I even want to watch a fucking game with this guy in net? Because I don't think he's like probably those last 3 goals were all pretty soft, in my opinion.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
And all it's very similar.
Yeah,
I think he's like, whatever. Like, the Sharks are gonna wind up, they're gonna play this year out, and he's going back to the K. I don't know.
I mean, is it the yips? Is it just
he's not good.
But I mean, it's not. You don't get to be successful. Where a few years ago, the Rangers were trying to figure out whether they were keeping Shesterkin or going with Georgiev.
It was never a conversation. It was always Shesterkin.
A little bit.
No, it wasn't. It was never. Nope. It was never a conversation. It was always going to be Shesterkin. Shesterkin was always going to be the guy there. The thing is, wasn't he good at one point? Yeah, he was, but like, lots of goalies come into the league, right? And then they do fine to start, and then shooters figure out what the fuck to do on them. And then that's when you figure out how good a goalie is. It's when you finally figure out what his tendencies are. Can he adjust? Can he adjust his game to compensate for that? And the reality is that once you just figure out Georgiev, it's been downhill ever since. He was on the Colorado fucking Avalanche, a team that's a Stanley Cup contender. And he was like, this is why he's here. He was tanking their fucking season. A Stanley Cup contender.
Yeah.
And that's why they made the move as early as they did, not wait for the and I mean,
deadline. Like, and again, I think if you're the Sharks, right, you take back Georgiev because obviously you're, again, we all know what the fucking score is this year. This is another year where we're, trying to get a decent draft pick so we can continue building this pipeline and start, and start going up and start building back up again, right? I think, we've already kind of seen that. You got a guy like Macklin Celebrini, who I think has been fantastic. I mean, that, that's so far been worth the pain.
Sure.
But there's, obviously more pieces have to come up, and you can't, as much as I want to see Askarov get a bunch of starts while Vanacek's injured, he did play the last 2 games, so giving Georgiev a shot, I guess, is fine. I don't blame Askarov for the last game. I know last game didn't go well, but I don't really pin that on Askarov. I think he was fine.
Well, he was getting freaking peppered in the third.
Yeah, well,
period.
Of course, right? But again, because the Sharks just can't hold a third period lead because they're always in control of these games. Now,
from Darren Stevens, Shark Stats on Blue Sky and Twitter. 7th time in Sharks history the Sharks entered the third period with a lead and lost by 3 goals. 3 of those losses have come since the start of the 23-24 season. The only other team to do it this season, Chicago, earlier this month. It is the 6th regulation loss for the Sharks after leading in the third period, most in the NHL. So we got some super chats we need to get to.
Let's get
those going here. Rock and Jaws, sorry for the delay here.
Yeah.
$4.99 super chat. Thank you very much. At some point, you have to wonder why the power play continues to be terrible. Take the damn shot and stop with these flashy passing plays.
I think that part of the power play being terrible, I think a big part of the problem with the power play right now is not having Wallman. The Sharks blue line is ass. And I, as much as I like Muka Medulin, I don't really see him as your power play quarterback kind of guy. They don't really have that power play quarterback right now. And I think that's a part of the problem. I think it's kind of got them out of sorts. I think missing, obviously not having Eklund hurts as well. But yeah, I mean, the problem is I agree, you want to see more shots, but at the same time, you have to make good shots. If the goalie sees the shots, Aiden Hill, who maybe I'm not the biggest fan of, but if he sees the shot, if you just shoot at him and he sees the shot coming the whole way, he's stopping the puck most NHL goalies will, right? Unless you're Georgiev, apparently.
Right.
But yeah, no, you fire that baby into the chest. I mean, that's given. It's. But yeah, no, it's. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Felix. Finish your thought.
Oh yeah, no, I was just gonna say I agree that and what does Lanny always talk about shot selection. You have to. Shot selection is incredibly important, and if it stays on the perimeter, you're not gonna get very, very many quality shots, and if it's into the crest of the goalie, that's also not great either. So you need to basically just find a way to mix it up and pull the PK out of position, the defenders out of position, all that good stuff. And
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just
I was just gonna say the thing is that I get there are set pieces that you work on the power play, but 2 of the 3 goals tonight were just shots thrown on net.
Yeah.
And kind of hoping they go in. And guess what? They went in. Muka Medulin's shot kind of skirted with the ice and it somehow popped over.
That shouldn't have gone in though. But that shouldn't have gone in though, right?
No, right. But that's my point. The same thing with Toffoli's goal. It goes off a skater and in. It's their lucky goals. They gave the Sharks a 3-2 lead with it. But at the same time, one that only happens when I'm playing Chell. on there. Be honest here. And two, throwing pucks on the net. It's okay to do so. If you have someone parked in front, why not? It doesn't hurt, guys. It doesn't hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, if you put them in, like, obviously there's shots you can take where obviously you're doing the shot to look for a rebound or whatever. But I'm just saying, like, sometimes like you do want to move it around a little bit though, because you're trying to create those screens.
And
because that's the key, right? It's the screens.
Yeah, exactly.
Screens and tips, and the Sharks don't really have anyone who eat tips, so it's screens. It is.
Yep. And like we're gonna probably get to it later, but that's kind of a thing that I was also observing for a certain other country's power play. But yeah.
Let's
get to it. Let
yeah.
me get the other super chat here. Rocks and Jaws, thank you again for
Yes,
the
thank you.
1999 super chat. They act like they have a superstar squad and they try these dumb passes. Play selfish and fire the puck. We do not need every player to get the puck before they take the shot. Play selfish, take opportunities.
Yeah, and I don't disagree with that. I just think it's like it's a situation where, again, you're trying to create a screen, you're trying to do something, and you can overpass. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, do the Sharks overpass? 100%. Sometimes they overpass. I'm not discounting what you say. I'm just trying to explain why this is a thing.
Yeah.
No, I get that. In between those good luck bounce goals, Will Smith crashes the net. I love this whole play. Just how it was like Zetterlund's bugging the crap out of the Vegas defender, and I can't think of who it was. It was Celebrini that kind of poke checks it away, and he steals it, and then he gets over to Smith to let me see if I can pull it up here. Here we go. You have Zetterlund bugging him. Celebrini comes in and steals it. And this got you all in the feels because you see the kids playmaking. They get a shot on goal, and then they crash the net. I mean, look, all three of them are right there to get it, and it's like you're crashing. You're not checking like that perimeter shot or anything.
Right.
And nice goal by Smith. He gets off the schneid. He had a goal and assist tonight. So he needed that. I think he'd gone scoreless in 8 games plus the injury. So nice to see if that from him. But it's like, come on.
Yep. And also, sorry, if you could bring that up again.
Oh, sure.
Do we also take a moment to appreciate how hard Celebrini freaking works to make that shit happen?
Yeah, Celebrini. I mean, he's
great. Just the hockey IQ. Just look at that poke check. Like he literally
special.
Yeah, he literally pokes the puck into the freaking zone and just gets that going. And I'm just like, how the fuck do you But yeah, anyway, it's just unreal.
Yeah, it's just it's nice to see them clicking and everything.
Yeah,
and honestly, again, it doesn't have to be pretty. And this was one of those goals where it doesn't have to be pretty. And I think that's what we're all echoing in this sense that, it doesn't have to look pretty. It doesn't have to be a spinorama every time. It doesn't have to be a drop pass. Although, Smitty, you did try that there. But you do that, and good things can happen. And that's the whole point. I think we're all, echoing on that. So.
I want to hit something in the chat here quick. Dana is saying they should sign Nabokov from the KHL who plays for Metallurg. They cannot do that. He is a Colorado Avalanche prospect. He was drafted last year.
Yep. Unfortunately, they really can't do much unless they were to. I mean, they aren't going to call up Romanov or anything like that and send Georgiev to the Kuhre.
No, Georgiev's gonna play this out. Like they're again because yes, he's ass, and yes, he makes the Sharks less watchable in my opinion. But at the same time, this is kind of all according to plan, isn't it? As much as I hate to say it, and it sucks to be a fan and be like, oh well, this team is this team wants to win, but they don't really want to. I don't know.
Yeah, no, but this is basically kind of what they're, I guess, quote unquote, stuck with. for right now. So
they'll play it out. I mean,
but-
he's going to play it out. I mean, I think as long as, like I said, I think Askarov's probably going to get the next game. You'd have to imagine.
You would have to think, since it's a back-to-back tomorrow.
Yeah. Like it's going to be Askarov tomorrow. And that's the other thing too, right? Like a lot of people are like, well, why isn't Askarov playing? It's because it's a back-to-back. And as much as I've liked Askarov's game, I think you had to go with one of them tonight. And I think putting Georgiev tonight. Who are they playing tomorrow?
Calgary.
Oh, Calgary. Well, I don't know. See, I probably would have done the opposite, but what the fuck do I know?
Calgary, and apparently, I guess is Dustin Wolf still red hot?
I have not been paying attention to it. There's so much hockey right now.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no hockey right now. It's all bad.
It's all dead.
It's all bad. I don't know what there's no other
it's
hockey
all
talk
bad.
right now. I don't know what you're talking about.
To quote Ian, it's all bad and we feel bad.
Yeah.
Or no, when they do bad, it's bad. I mean,
This
let's
is
be
not
honest.
good.
Calgary is in 5th place. They're at 39 points in the Pacific, which puts them at they're outside looking in. They are
They're
points
4-3
back from the Canucks right now. So
in the last 10.
yeah, it's just tough. And so you go into that third period, you get a power play off of a lazy penalty, and then, like, I mean, not to go over it again, but I mean, 3 goals, 2 of them shorthanded, 2 of them in 23 seconds. And
Not even like, don't get me wrong, like I think that these were incredibly soft goals, but the fact that Vegas was in a position to score those goals is not good. Like this is bad across the board. I don't want to as much as I wasn't I've never been a fan of Georgiev's game, but and those were bad goals. I don't want anyone to get it twisted, but at the same time, these are what are we doing?
Yeah.
You're on the power play. What are we doing? What is I don't know, man. I mean, look at
and
sliding thing.
I was gonna say, Lily does the slide, and I'm just like, what?
It's all bad. It's just there's so many things wrong with this play, right? Obviously, you shouldn't get beat to the net, and they did.
And there's 3 guys right around him.
Yeah,
3 guys.
Yeah,
it's like AJ's old meme when 4 Buffalo Sabres were chasing Joe Thornton in 2015.
Yeah.
There's 3 guys, but yet we have to salute Brent Burns at the most inopportune time. Wait,
I mean, but at the same, Georgiev has to have that.
Yeah.
Oh,
there's no
absolutely.
reason for that to go in. That's not a. Yes, okay. Liljegren sliding is bad, but that's a
yeah, no, that's it. Yeah, I get Vegas is good, but come on.
No, and that's a defenseman, Braden McNabb.
Yeah,
ties things up, and then worse is then Jack Eichel comes in, and I love the fan who added on to that, where Eichel's like, ooh, and the guy's like, yeah, and then Deforiev makes it 5-3. They would get an empty netter, 4-goal third period for the Sharks. Yeah, Alex saying,
give credit. I mean, as much as I know this will make people mad, I mean, you have to give credit to Vegas a little bit here, because I think they did come out and play the third a lot harder. They were, I think they were pretty upset to be down. This is still a good team, unfortunately, and they came out and they played a much better game, and the Sharks definitely did not.
Right.
Yeah. So let's get to the comments in the locker room.
Oh, yay.
Will Smith, we have to learn how to win. I don't even know how many we've had to lead in the third and didn't keep it. We told you that one earlier, but so Ian, I'll start with you. How do you learn to win?
You put more goals, you score more goals than the other team. That's how you will learn to win. I mean,
so they say.
Again, this we just got to hold on to the lead. It's you just have to actually be in control of a game. I don't know. Fuck. I'm so tired of this fucking. They can't hold the lead in the third. You mother fucking clinging to dear life to the lead and never having a. This fucking talking point, man. It's the stupidest shit.
And Will Smith, of course, with the sellout crowd, it was announced. I know others will question that, but Smitty goes on with obviously we want to be better for the crowd. We want them to come watch the games. We have to be better for them.
Yeah, like it sucks that I don't know, man. Again, this team, in my opinion, has kind of and there's definitely a reason for it, and we all kind of knew it was going to happen. But right. This team is sliding really quick back into unwatchability again. I don't care what anyone says. That's the reality.
Was that me to replay the Liljegren slide again? Or no? Okay.
Sorry. No.
Okay. My bad. All right. Mukamadulin, we need to play with the same pace from the first and second into the third. We have to play the same level. Don't think about score. Maybe think about it just a little bit.
I mean, don't not. I think what he's trying to say is that I think that if you're the Sharks and you're in the third period and you have a lead, you're probably at this point, the talking point, right? You're probably, I think what he's saying is they're probably gripping the stick a little bit in the third. Like they're maybe getting into their own heads a little bit in the third. I think is what he's trying to say. Mm-hmm. Which, okay, I could see that. But again, I don't know. I just think it's a dumb talking point because I think in a lot of these games they're clinging on to dear life and they're not ever in control of these games because the score might say they are, but they're not.
But Felix, I'll ask you this: but the psychological thing, it's got to start getting into their heads a little bit more, and I don't want to say mental focus, but I mean, once this has happened too many times already, we haven't even hit the halfway point, and it just keeps going.
Yeah, I'm a huge proponent, as you know, of mental health, mental well-being, all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, I go back, I think about the professionalism standpoint. I'm like, yeah, at some point you kind of have to figure out, how to put it all together, for lack of a better way of saying it. Like, I mean, this is a National Hockey League, right? Like you have to, at some point you have to figure it out one way or another. So
I completely agree. But yeah, I mean, it's going to keep getting into their heads sooner or later, unfortunately, and it's just going to really hurt. Ian, I'm going to warn you right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put up some Warsofsky quotes. You might lose your
I will probably lose my mind. It's fine.
Okay. All right, cool. Here we go. Warsofsky, we stop skating, stop hunting the puck, and it's in our net. We have to learn from this, and the answer has to come from the room.
He's right. Mm-hmm. In the sense that, here's why that's an okay quote. He's right. Obviously, the Sharks aren't going to go out and buy at the trade deadline. There's the Sharks are in a situation that they're in right now, right? They're missing some guys. They've got guys that are hurt, and no one's coming to save them.
Right. Warsaw, we don't do anything consistently enough, individually or as a team. Okay. We'll continue on when asked if it's mental errors, you have to ask the team, I don't know. So these two are concerning. You have to ask the team, I don't know.
Yeah, it's never. It's never a good thing to. That's never a good thing for the coach to say this early into his day. But at the same time, I don't know what his. Yeah, I don't know what else he's supposed to say at this point.
Right.
I don't. Again, he's right. The answers have to come in the room, right? He's right because there's no help coming. There's no one coming up from the Barracuda that's going to save the season.
Yeah, and it's not like the coach has like all the answers in the world as to how to motivate the players. It's it's literally within the players.
I get that, but it's almost like you're kind of throwing it at your team that this is on you.
It is,
and
I think it is though. It really is.
Yeah.
Which is quite interesting. Or so we knew they were going to come at us. They're cup winners. For whatever reason, we got away from our game in the third.
Yeah, I mean they're good. Look at, I mean, do I need to go over the records here? Like,
yeah. Hurdle on Celebrini. I'll do this without the impersonation. I think he's really talented and doesn't seem like he's 18 years old because he makes strong plays. He played hard, and I feel like he got a huge future. He's got a huge future in front of him because he's just 18 and he's making unreal plays already. Yes.
yeah, I mean, you can every time, like anytime I hear anyone talk about Celebrini, I mean that's basically what you hear, right? Is how unreal this kid's game is at. You know, and it's not even like the points are nice. Like he's got to be catching up to Michkov in points at this rate. But I mean, it's the points are nice, but it's everything else that he does. It's all it's the 200-foot game that he has.
Exactly.
That's mature as an 18-year-old. Like he's a super special player, and I mean, again, like you know, that is the one thing that you can take from the season, regardless of how bad this team is like people are gonna want to watch Celebrini. I do.
Yeah.
AJ chiming in. I mean, they seem to lose as a team pretty consistently. Am I right?
Yeah.
Got a point. Yeah. So, thank you for that, Samrod. Is there an update on Couture and Vlasic? It would be nice to get an update, but no, Teal.
No, I mean, I feel like Vlasic's on Robert Island at this point because like he just if Vlasic comes back in lineup, they have to send someone down. From the blue line, they have to send somebody down. And I don't think they want to do that. It's interesting because like they made it sound like all the reporting seemed to point at like when they were on their last road trip that he could play, and then it's back to radio silence on Vlasic again. It's the weirdest shit. It's the Teal curtain, of course, which is always the most ridiculous thing, but it is fascinating how he went from being apparently almost ready to go and could play on the road trip to completely MIA again. And Logan Couture hasn't skated at all since whenever he played last year. Last time he skated. So there's obviously nothing there.
Yeah, it's tough. So Couture definitely hasn't been, but I know Skylar, you're in the chat, and he's been in practices and he's seen Vlasic play with the team. It hasn't been like in a without a non-contact jersey. So moves is gonna have to happen sooner or later. So we'll see what happens. Of course, with Vanacek going on IR, it does relieve things for the moment, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Like when everyone gets healthy, it'll be interesting to see what they do because they're gonna have to send someone down. I think the one thing that kind of worked against the Sharks is that over the course of this season, Henry Thrun lost his waivers and eligibility. Now he's waiver eligible, so they can't just. I think that would have been the easy answer if Vlasic had come back sooner, was they could have sent Thrun through waivers and sent him to the Barracuda, which is what I would probably have done if I was in the situation. Just asset management wise, because you don't like to lose people for nothing. But now they're gonna have to make a pretty interesting choice to see who they're going to want to send back down. I mean, I guess they could send Mukamadulin back down, but I think that they kind of want him on the team. So it's gonna be fascinating.
Right. Are they gonna attempt to try to put Thrun through waivers to get him to the CUDA. I don't know if that's going to be successful or not, but we shall see.
Yeah.
Hurdle on the tribute. It was really weird, honestly. After 11 years, it was the first time coming back. The feeling was mixed up, especially in the game, because for so many years the chants were cheering for you, and I think fans always liked me. Of course, Hurdle, freaking loved you, man. And then you want to win lots of games, and that's totally understandable. But
I mean, at the end of the day, it's a business, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
it is what it is, man.
Yeah. So, they lose 6-3 to Vegas. Now you have a team that's fighting for a playoff spot in Calgary on Saturday for Hockey Night in Canada. So the Sharks will be on national television up in the Great White North for a second time this week. It should be
I'm
interesting.
just kind of watching the chat, and I'm just kind of
yeah, no, I know. Chat.
What is going on, chat? What is going on?
Logan Teal wants to mention Easton Cowan, so we'll use this as our segue to the nightmare in Ottawa. I guess we're calling it Latvia, the birthplace of Sandis Ozolinsh and Archers Urbe. Stuns Canada on home ice in an 8-round shootout. Ian, I'll start with you first. And Felix, I know you were watching this. Poor guy. He's been up since like 9 a.m. watching hockey games.
Same.
But Ian, I'll start with you. What's the reaction up in Canada right now?
Oh, it's the end of everything, obviously. Look, I think here's the problem, I think, with this Team Canada, this iteration of Team Canada. I think what happens is sometimes when Canada doesn't loses, they overthink the next tournament. So last year they get put out by, I think it was Czechia. They didn't medal. And they were like, too much sizzle, not enough steak. And which, probably a fair criticism. So I think they kind of galaxy brained this team a little bit. And I don't like the way they constructed this team. I don't understand how a guy like Zane Perrick isn't on the team. I don't understand how Michael Misa doesn't even get to go to camp. And I think this was kind of the concern, right? Because I think they have guys on there that, how they have guys on their team. They've got a lot of guys that are more known for their 200-foot game or whatever. And I think that when you're in a tight game like that, you just want guys that can put the puck in the net. And I think Team Canada left a lot of those guys at home. So I don't know. I don't like the way that this team was constructed. Again, I think that there's some of those players that are missing. But there's still Team Canada. I mean, I feel like Latvia, obviously this is the first time Latvia's ever beat us, but I feel like there's always a team that has no business hanging with Canada and hangs with Canada, and then everyone's like, oh god, Canada's cooked, and then they're fine, right? And I feel like they'll probably be fine here. Hats off to the Latvians, I think. Obviously though, they played a really hard game. Their goalie was fucking phenomenal.
Oh my god.
Dude, so good. So I mean, full marks to Latvia. It's when you're a country like Latvia, I think this is kind of your gold medal, right? Depending on where you are in Canada, obviously Canada's gold or bust. There's no other result that is acceptable in Canada. But I think for a team like Latvia, who knows that they're probably going to get pushed around a lot, this is a big deal. And I hope that those kids are going to be, those kids are going to remember this forever. And as well, they should. They played a great game and they won, and credit to them.
For sure. Question, because you probably have kept closer watch on this than I have, but Carter Yakimchuk, I think his name is,
also not on the team. Okay. Yeah, again, just weird things. And Sam Dickinson didn't play at all in the overtime. What are we doing? Weird. Again, I don't understand what this team's doing. Now again, Do I think this is like a crisis or anything else? No, it's fine. It'll be fine. It'll be hilarious when the US completely steamrolls Latvia tomorrow. I'm sure Twitter will react to that completely normally.
Yeah.
What time is that game? Because I can only imagine what
It's
that'll
like
be like.
12:30, I think, right?
So,
I don't know. Yeah.
12:30.
so let me get this straight. Latvia plays till what, 7:30 our time? So they played what, starting at 5 o'clock. They play to 10:30, and then they're going to come back and play an afternoon game tomorrow. Wow,
That's what
Yeah.
juniors, baby.
That's
That
what
is
That's how
crazy.
this rolls.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think again. So I think it's going to be like I think the USA probably has it's. I think for a team like Latvia too, I think it's hard to like. I'm going to be interested to see how they play tomorrow because of like just such an emotional thing, obviously, to beat a team like Canada, a team that they've never beaten in the World Juniors ever. It'll be interesting to see like if they how they if they can keep their focus and play the US. Latvia always plays hard. So I'm curious to see how they play against the US tomorrow, but I wonder if it's a situation. I wonder if like how if the emotion of today's game like kind of exhausts them tomorrow.
Right. Yeah. No, that's a fair point.
Yeah.
For me, I watched this game and like first period, okay, whatever, like 1-0, fine. Second period, the power plays were really game throughout the game, but like the second period when I noticed that the score was still 1-0, and of course I was watching that whole period, I'm like, first of all, you're not converting on the power plays. As Sharks fans know this all too well. When you do not convert on man advantages, and that kind of comes back to bite you, and it kind of did, in the.
And it's been a problem. Like it was a problem in pre-tournament play. It was a problem against Finland. Like this isn't a new problem for this squad.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I'm looking at how they're moving the puck, and it's just like, and again, like you said, credit to Latvia, but like that PK just kept him along the perimeter. I'm just like, why is nobody like fighting for like space in the slot area to like freaking give Latvia something to think about? And so when that didn't happen, I'm just like, oh shit. Like they're just giving Latvia just more momentum at this point.
It quite reminded me about we'll say from when the year that the Sharks won the President's Trophy to all those games surrounding it, where it's like, man, they can't beat Columbus to save their butts, or they can't beat Buffalo to save their butts, but yet they're so beyond talented to beat the crap out of them, and it just somehow Ben Scrivens messes up and 56 save shutout, and you're like, wow. that's incredible. But we'll see. We'll also say USA beat Germany today. Brandon Savoda, Sharks prospect, had a goal in that one. So kudos to that.
I always forget he's a Sharks prospect. I don't know why I'm such a jerk.
So now Ian Reid is hockey jerk. Now
this is the rumor on the in the comments. It's always like whenever jerks like I'm like it kills me because it's like you can go back into the back catalog. And I understand you have to go a pretty decent ways back at this point, but like you can find shows where me and Jerk are on together, and all our shows are live, so it's not like I'm ventriloquisting Jerk. I can't do it. Like
if you are, why are you here? You should be doing like an arena tour now. With
right?
Like,
yeah.
Like take that, Jeff Dunham. Yeah, but so it'll be interesting to see how it goes. Canada's off Saturday. USA, as we mentioned, will play Latvia and probably kick the living crap out of them. But
they will. Trust me, they will. And then everyone's be like, "Oh no!"
Yeah.
What's wrong, Canada? And it's fine. It's fine. I'm not worried. Like again, it's a long tournament.
Yeah.
And Canada always does this. They always fucking fuck around against a team like Latvia, and sometimes they find out. I mean, like, again, this is the first time Latvia's beat, but I feel like they always do this. There's always one game where like they'll play and they won't score a bunch of goals, and then the US goes and steamrolls, and everyone's like, oh no, and then Canada walks with the gold medal. So
And I also want to bring something else up. I was looking at the World Junior schedule, and correct me if I'm wrong, and Ian's probably gonna hate this, but are the U.S. and Canada not gonna? Aren't the U.S. and Canada gonna play on New Year's Eve?
yeah, that's tradition, man.
Yeah.
I'm curious. What time do they schedule that game?
It'll be,
that's right, 5:00, the same time the Sharks are playing.
yeah. Wow.
Oh,
Sorry, Sharks.
Lovely. That'll be fun. Right after the Winter Classic, so that'll be interesting. As for this weekend, the Sharks will play 7 p.m. local time on Hockey Night in Canada as the Sharks take on the Flames. For the CUDA, they begin a weekend series in Henderson with the Silver Knights. Oh, goody. That should be fun. Although the Silver Knights suck this year, so we might have a chance.
I mean,
with Dellin and Romanov.
I mean, but at the same time, it was like, it's interesting how like the schedules kind of line up, because like we're losing to Bakersfield at the same time we're losing to the Oilers, and yeah, I don't know, maybe losing to the Golden Knights Sunday isn't a good sign. Yeah. Logan's like, choosing the Sharks over Canada versus USA is a Galaxy Ray move, 100%. Sorry, Sharks. I don't care how good Macklin Celebrini is that game. I'll watch it on replay.
Just seeing some of the tweets that are coming out here. Shane mentioning from Rosovsky, we don't know what it takes to win in this league. You've done it 11 times. I mean, you kind of know.
11 times. Oh, man.
It's not like you're 0-39. I mean, just saying, you kind of have an idea. But
I just think that they're still not very good.
Yeah.
And I think it's like, I don't know, man. Like, I didn't have expectations for this team coming in. I think maybe that's why, like, for a while they kind of surpassed them a little bit, because I didn't have expectations for this team coming into this season. Because again, this isn't over. We knew it wasn't over. I don't know, man. Like, is that it, or you're just not good enough to win in this league? Because I think it might be the latter.
It's kind of giving me like Herb Brooks vibes. Like you're not good enough, to win and you're playing like next month or something like that. I'm getting
Not
one like both
on talent alone.
Yeah, well, they aren't, but you need to find a freaking way. So,
or as I guess AJ in the chat is saying, he's manning the account. Clearly the Sharks should have brought back T-Mac because the Sharks need polish.
Sharks need polish. If they want to bake a cake, we'll bring back Ron Wilson. I mean, we can, I
think it's cool for T-Mac to get to go back to where it all started. I think that's pretty cool. I don't think it went very well for them tonight, though.
No. Patrick Mitch Marner.
Oh, they played the Leafs. God, no.
But yeah, Dan Moore, we knew this was coming. So but it's just frustrating as to how it's happening,
Yeah, I think again, like it sucks because again, I don't think this team's very good, and I think Blackwood made them look better than they were. And I think Askarov in stretches has made them look better than they are. I think goaltending has been a strength of this team, and now that Blackwood's gone, and Askarov, you could play him every game, but you don't want to, obviously. Right. So when you have to put if Alexander Georgiev in net or Vitek Vanacek, like, the goaltending is no longer a strength for this team.
Right.
So we will be back with you on Saturday following Sharks and Flames. Again, that's a 7 p.m. start.
Yep.
But nonetheless, in case you missed anything or you want to watch us get mad again, check us out on tealtownusa.com. Or if you want the audio version, you can find us wherever you get your podcasts: Apple, YouTube Music, SoundCloud, Spotify, TuneIn, iHeart, Odyssey. Of course, if you are watching us on the YouTube channel, I mean, let's get those Woodish gloves up. Let's get that like button up. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We really do appreciate it. It does go out to help us out immensely. I'm afraid to ask, but Felix, your final thoughts before we get out of here.
Not when celebrating might be good, but other than that, I don't know what else to say. Yeah.
Felix, thank you very much. Ian?
I don't know, man. This isn't good. It's not even when the Sharks do bad, it's good. This is just annoying. Yeah, I don't know. It is what it is, man. I don't know what else to say. I have emptied my anger tank. Yeah, this is fine. Whatever. I'm not even gonna get mad at AJ for being like, oh no, we've lost by 1 goal. It's bad.
But yeah, losing 8 of 9. I mean, that is frustrating to lose it the way that they have been losing it. And I think this is a 4th straight home game where they had a lead going into the 3rd period. It's tough, but we'll see you at the tank and have fun.
Right, Semcast. You right.
That's right. So bring it down a little bit, but guys, we don't. Yeah, and that's my point. That's my final thought. Thank you, AJ. When the guy running stuff says we don't know what it takes to succeed, that's a red flag.
Oh, but I mean, I don't know. I think it's being exasperated at how things have gone of late, and I don't know, man. We have to kind of write out one of these coaches, because if we don't, we're just gonna, do you want to be Buffalo? Because that's how you end up as Buffalo.
Yeah,
right.
I was gonna go there. Yeah.
Right.
Do you want to be the Sabres? Because I don't want to be the fucking Sabres.
No, I want
to do 13 years of this.
I want to have a sore arm waving a rally towel.
Rebuild the rebuild. I don't want to rebuild the rebuild 3 times.
Me neither. And I certainly don't want to waste 1 million first overalls
for players that end up being MVPs on other teams. All right, get us out of here.
Yeah. All right. So we'll see you Saturday. Oh,
yay! God. I will be here.
You'll be here.
Yeah.
I think Jules will be here, and me and Dana will be at the tank. Maybe we'll chime in with better audio. Okay. But until then, thanks for watching. Keep it real. Keep it teal. Keep it real, Teal. Hang in there, fellow Sharks fans. And by the way, thank you for the birthday wishes. I haven't thanked everybody yet, but thank you very much, and we'll see you tomorrow night.